Welcome to HFMA News.
On September 11, 2001, the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airlines and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. 2 of the planes were flown into the towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, and the 3rd plane hit the Pentagon just outside Washington, D.C., and the 4th plane crashed in the field in Pennsylvania. Often referred to as 9/11, the attacks resulted in extensive death and destruction. Over 3,000 people were killed during the attacks in New York City, Washington, D.C., including more than 400 police officers and firefighters. There were 19 men hijacked. 4 fuel-loaded U.S. commercial airplanes bounded for West Coast destinations. A total of 2,977 people were killed in New York City, Washington, D.C., and outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The attack was orchestrated by Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. Thank you.
We will be back with a commercial break. And we are back.
On this day in 2011, Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks in the United States, is killed by U.S. forces during a raid on his compound hideout in Pakistan. The notorious 54-year-old leader of Al-Qaeda, the terrorist network of Islamic extremists, have been the target of nearly a decade-long international manhunt. The raid began around 1 a.m. local time, when 23 U.S. Navy SEALs in 2 Black Hawk helicopters descended on the compound in Abbottabad, a tourist and military center north of Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. One of the helicopters crash-landed into the compound, but no one aboard was hurt. Then 40 minutes later, 5 people, including bin Laden and one of his adult sons, were killed by U.S. gunfire. No Americans were injured in the assault. Afterward, bin Laden's body was flown by helicopter to Afghanistan for official identification, then buried at an undisclosed location in the American Sea less than 24 hours after his death. Yes.
We'll be back with another.
Thank you, Big Wheel. Thank you, Sit and Spin. Thank you, Radio Flyer. Thanks for the inspiration. The Mazda MPV. One drive, and it'll all come back to you.
Stay tuned for another commercial.
moving on to Obama's
And
election.
we are
On
back.
November 4th, 2008, Senator Barack Obama of Illinois was elected President of the United States over Senator John McCain of Arizona. Obama became the 44th president and the first African American to be elected to the office. He was subsequently elected second term over former Massachusetts Governor Matt Romney. The United States presidential election of 2000 was a contest between Republican candidate George W. Bush, then governor of Texas and son of George H.W. Bush, the Democratic candidate Al Gore, then vice president. Bill Clinton, the incumbent president, was vacating the position after serving the maximum 2 terms allowed by the 22nd Amendment. Bush narrowly won the November 7th election with 271 electors votes to Gore's 266, with 1 elector obtaining in 1 official tally. The election was noteworthy for the controversy over the awarding of Florida's 25 electoral votes, the subsequent recount progress in that state, and the unusual event of the winning candidate having received fewer popular votes than the runner-up. It was the closest election since 1876 and only 4th election in which the electoral vote did not reflect the popular vote.
Back to another commercial break.
Hi. Just wanted to let you know that we have pre-boarding for military personnel at the gate.
We are ready to invite our first-class passengers and our uniformed military personnel to board at this time.
To those who put our country first, we are honored to do the same for you.
The Mars
And we are back with
Exploration
some more
Rover
info. Stay
mission
tuned.
is part of NASA's Mars Exploration Program, a long-term effort of robotic exploration of the red planet. Primary among the mission's scientific goals is to search for and characterize a wide range of rocks and soils that hold clues to past water activity on Mars. The spacecraft are targeted to sites on opposite sides of Mars that appear to have been affected by liquid water in the past. The landing sites are at Gusev Crater, a possible former lake in a giant impact crater, and Meridiani Planum, where minimal deposits suggest Mars had a wet past. After the airbag protected landing craft settled onto the surface and open, the rovers rolled out to take panoramic images. These images give scientists the information they need to select promising geological targets that tell part of the story, water in Mars' past. Then, the rovers drive to those locations to perform on-site scientific investigations.
On to our commercial break.
Aw, thank you. Have a seat. Kyle, Jalen, Kyle.
Jalen, you play nice.
I'll be right back.
What's going on, little man? I see you got your game skills down, Pack. You might have your hands full once I pick up the controller, little man.
Put it back. Keep your hands on my mama. Keep your hands on my Doritos.
Jalen, are you playing
Google Street View is
We are
found
back
in
with some
Google
more
Maps
info.
and Google Earth that provides panoramic views from positions along many streets in the world. It was launched in 2007 in several cities in the United States and has since expanded to include cities and rural areas worldwide. Streets with Street View imagery available are shown on blue lines on Google Maps. Google Street View displays panoramas of stitched images. Most photography is done by car, but some is done by trekker, tricycle walking, boats, snowmobiles, and underwater apparatus.
Hi, I'm
We are
Ryan
going
Germick,
into commercial
web
break.
specialist at Google. Welcome to sunny San Francisco. I'm here to tell you about the latest feature in Google Maps. It's called Street View. Let's check it out. Here we are in Google Maps. Just click the Street View button on top and zoom in on the camera icon. There I am. Sweet, we're back. Want to go look around? You can. Just click on a new spot on the map. Let's go full screen to get a better view. Street View allows you to rotate 360 degrees and zoom in. Or drag the icon and drop it wherever you want. Areas where imagery is available are indicated in blue. Oh look, a cable car. Ooh, sorry, back to the demo. To rotate, drag the photograph left or right, or use the arrow keys. Let's take a virtual walk down the road. Click on one of the white arrows. To zoom, double-click on the photograph or use the slider on the left. Oh man, I could have saved myself that parking ticket. Oh, one last thing. You can also share these views with your friends. Just click on the link to this page button, copy the web address from your browser, and email it. Well, that's it. Don't forget to click the Street View button on Google Maps.
The 2000 NBA Finals
And
was the championship round of the
we're
1999-2000 National Basketball Association season. The Los Angeles Lakers of the Western Conference took on the Indiana Pacers of the Eastern Conference for the title. The series was played under a best-of-7 format, with the Lakers having home court advantage. The Lakers won the series 4-2. Lakers center Shaquille O'Neal was named the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player of the series, his first of 3 consecutive honors. Until 2008, this was the most recent NBA Finals where both members of one seed from both conferences faced off in the finals.
The National Football League playoffs. For the 2004 season began on January 8, 2005. The postseason tournament concluded the New England Patriots defeating the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl at 619. The score, 24-21 on February 6th at Allegiant Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida, by winning the game with a clutch field goal by Adam, because if Adam had missed the field goal, there would have been tied, possibly a new championship. On this day, 2010, a magnitude of 7.0 earthquake devastated the Caribbean island, nation of Haiti. The quake, which had the strongest strike the region in more than 200 years, left over 2,000 people dead and some 805,000 people seemed homeless. The earthquake hit southern Haiti at 4:53 p.m. local time. The nation's capital, Port-au-Prince, densely populated city located about 15 miles from the quake, suffered widespread devastation. Countless dwellings were reduced to rubble, with hospitals, churches, and schools collapsed, and roads were blocked with debris. Numerous government structures were heavily damaged or destroyed, including a presidential palace, parliament building, and many prisons. At the time of the quake, Haiti lacked a building code, and many structures were shrouded constructed. In the aftermath of the quake, fears with victims, decomposing corpses, and spread diseases, trucks picked up thousands of bodies and dumped them into mass graves. Early in the morning, on August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast of the United States. When the storm made landfill, it had a category of 3 ratings on the Safara Tsunami. Hurricane still brought substance winds of 100 to 140 miles per hour and stretched out some 40 miles across. The storm itself did a great deal of damage, but the aftermath was catastrophic. Level branches led to the massive flooding. Many people charged that the federal government was slow to